He says that they will see if things work out or not. There was the first condition of the special clauses that said the contract would be terminated if the sales were less than desired. But Sejun pats Theo's head and says that he would be a good salesman. He says he believes in the reliable and resourceful merchant cat, Theo. And as Theo hears himself being called resourceful, he gets happy. Sejun also thinks that he was quite simple. Then Theo asks Sejun what kind of things they are selling. Sejun confidently tells him that it was cherry tomatoes. Theo is confused, and Sejun gives him a freshly picked cherry tomato. But as Theo looks at the tomato, he finds that it was a magical cherry tomato that could temporarily increase MP by 0.1 for 10 minutes. He asks Sejun how much he is planning to sell it for. Theo thinks that if he were lucky, he could get 0.01 tower coins per tomato from the new people who come into the tower. Sejun replies that he wanted to sell it for 0.05 tower coins per piece, and Theo is shocked to hear the price. He says that only an idiot will buy it at such a high price. But then Theo thinks that a high price might be a good thing for him. If he fails to sell enough tomatoes to earn 5 tower coins in 1 month, his contract will be terminated. Plus, he could eat grilled fish in the meantime. Theo asks Sejun how much he should take with him for the first sales trip, and Sejun says that he should take 1,000 tomatoes. Sejun has put 1,000 tomatoes in a basket and even prepared the payment of 25 grilled fish. But Sejun wonders how Theo will carry all this with him, and Theo replies that he will use his item, the bundle. Theo unfurls his cloth and says that this is his item, the bundle. It has space expansion magic, preservation magic, and magic to make things lightweight. He could store all the things he had in his bundle and keep them in their original state for long periods of time. Theo throws the cloth over the tomatoes and fish, and they get stored inside it by magic, and then it turns into a small pouch. Sejun exclaims that it was so convenient, and as Theo gets ready to leave, he tells Sejun that he will be back. As Theo leaves, Sejun and his friends wave him goodbye. A few days later, Theo had reached the 38th floor of the tower, and right now, a fight is taking place there. A group of awakened people are fighting a giant spider monster. The spider screeches, and the humans say that it was the last one left. They can't let it get away. The spider attacks the hunters, and their leader blocks its attack with a shield. The magicians on the side use fireball magic to attack the spider and divert its attention. And then their leader takes advantage of this situation and beheads the spider in one swift strike. He was the leader of the Phoenix Guild, Kim Dongshik. His team cheers on him and says that this was to be expected, and many of them were betting for it to end with one strike. Kim Dongshik says that everyone should stop praising him and start with the cleanup already. He points out a woman named Jessica and tells her not to slack around. He would not forgive her like the last time if she ran away. And Jessica starts flirting with Dongshik, saying that he must know that she loves him. As Dongshik thinks about what to do with the girl, he feels some movement in the nearby bushes. He turns back and gets into battle mode immediately. He asks who was there as he draws his sword. But Theo comes out of the bush and asks the humans if they would like to see some stuff. Dongshik is surprised to see a cat, and his team is also surprised to see that he is a traveling merchant. As Theo greets them, the girls in the group say that he is cute, much to Theo's surprise. One girl also says that his paws look too cute. Sejun had told him about this. If he used the accent from his village while talking, it would be easier to attract the attention of humans. And now Theo realizes that it really worked. He takes out the tomatoes from his bag and tells them to look at what he is selling. But as the humans see the cherry tomatoes, they are underwhelmed. They say that if Theo was here to sell food, he should have at least brought something like meat or bread. Cherry tomatoes were not good enough to be eaten in this battle. Theo laughs and says that he anticipated that reaction from the foolish humans. But he tells them that these were not ordinary cherry tomatoes. He asks them to check the stats, and the humans are surprised to hear that it was an item. They see the information window and find that it was a magical cherry tomato. It could increase MP by 0.1 for 10 minutes. But humans think that this value is too low. One human asks the price of the tomatoes, and Theo says that it was 0.05 tower coins per piece. The man is shocked and snaps at Theo. He says that he must be making fun of them. Instead of buying things like that, he would spend his money on buying equipment. He starts walking away and tells others that this was a waste of their time. But a girl is still reading the information window, and she seems to have found something important. She says that if she eats this, she will lose 10 grams of fat. And those words stop everyone right in their tracks. They look back and ask, what did she just say? And then everyone starts checking out the stats of the tomatoes by themselves. And the girls eagerly wondered if it was true. And then they start asking to buy everything Theo has. All the girls aggressively start demanding a few hundred tomatoes for themselves. Theo is shocked as he sees them fight and bicker with each other. Some of them even want to buy all the tomatoes for themselves. And they tell others to back off. And the rest of them can only watch them dumbfounded. Theo tells them to get in line. And now even those who were not interested earlier want to buy some tomatoes now. Back at the cave, Sejun is harvesting more tomatoes, and he has just leveled up and got a bonus stat. The wife rabbit is with him, and he asks her if Theo would be doing well right now, and he thinks that the cat must have already met some hunters by now. At first glance, the magical cherry tomatoes looked like an item that would only boost their magic power. But on closer inspection, it had an even greater benefit. It could dissolve 10 grams of fat just by eating it. And it would also rejuvenate the body. Sejun thinks that this is the perfect diet food one could hope to find. And as he eats one, he says that there were no side effects either. He thinks that they will definitely sell a lot, and he trusts the Earthlings need to follow a diet. And Theo really has sold all the cherry tomatoes. Sejun looking at the carrot seedlings that have sprouted, and he is lost in thought. He asks if the figure was about 70%, and the husband with him seems to agree. That 70% referred to the germination rate of the seeds. Out of the 1,000 carrot seeds Sejun brought from the seed store and planted, only 700 germinated. And he had also planted 12 magical cherry tomato seeds that he harvested himself. And among them, only 732 seedlings had sprouted. Then we see the scene of Sejun's farmland, which is starting to look like a proper farm. And the poison honeybee is also busy with her job of pollination. Sejun is still calculating the germination percentage of other crops and finds that the corn seeds and sweet potato sprouts also had a germination rate between 60 and 70%, which was close enough to that of carrots and cherry tomatoes. Sejun thinks that it will be great if the seeds sprout some more, but then he starts thinking about the reasons the germination was limited. He suspects that it might be because his level as a farmer was low. Or maybe the land inside the cave was not fertile enough. But Sejun decides to keep going on like this for now, and he is hopeful that he will find a better way to cultivate crops later. He thinks that now that they had Theo by their side, who would sell the crops, they needed to harvest as many crops as possible. And the husband rabbit also agrees with him. But then something else grabs Sejun's attention, and he turns back to find out what it was. He sees that the black warrior rabbit tossed a torch up in the air while he was waiting by the lake. As soon as the torch reached near the surface of the water, piranhas jumped out of the lake. And that was what the black rabbit was waiting for. He leaps towards the fish and hits them with his hammer. He deals one blow to each of the fish and then lands safely on his 2 feet. And just as the fish fall to the ground, he also catches the torch he had tossed up. Everyone was watching him heroically catch fish. Sejun compliments the black rabbit that he has gotten really skilled at hunting. And then he notices that the rabbit's body is shining. That meant that the black rabbit was leveling up. Sejun congratulates him as he says that this is the first time he has seen this. He had seen the white farming rabbits level up quite often while farming, but seeing a black rabbit level up was rare. He pats the rabbit's head and tells him that he is gradually becoming a true hunter, and the rabbit is also glad. He shows off before his siblings, who clap for him. As the rabbits are playing, Sejun suggests that they should take a break now, and during that break, they should drink coffee. Sejun appears very happy as he holds the tumbler he got from Theo, and as he opens it, it becomes clear that he was not mistaken about drinking coffee. Inside the tumbler are many sachets of coffee, and Sejun is happy to see them. He thinks that Theo and Scaram, the goblin who scammed him, both omitted something really important. They had not even opened the tumbler. If Theo had opened this and tried to sell coffee to him, Sejun would have spent all his money just to buy it. And as Sejun tears a packet open, he thanks them for their ignorance. Because of that, he got some good stuff for free. Sejun pours the coffee powder into his water bottle. He says that even though they do not have any tools to boil water or make ice cubes, having coffee in this place is a luxury in itself. He could not make regular coffee or iced Americano, but he at least had coffee. Then Sejun gets the poison honeybee to spit some honey into the water bottle, and he thanks her. And after a bit of mixing, he finally has coffee. Sejun names this drink Honey Americano, which is a combination of coffee powder dissolved in the cool water of the cave and mixed with thick honey from the poison honeybee. It was the perfect harmony of bitter and sweet tastes, according to him. Sejun claims that a single sip of this drink can relieve fatigue and hunger, and as he takes a hearty sip, Sejun finds that it is really quite delicious. Then he offers the coffee to his rabbit friends, and the black rabbit is the first one to try it. But as soon as he takes a sip, he is overwhelmed by the bitterness of the coffee and is too stunned to even react. Other rabbits are also curious about the taste, and when they try it, all of them find the drink too bitter for their liking. Sejin just laughs as the rabbits spit out the coffee. He says that the rabbit's tongue must be more sensitive to bitter tastes than humans.